worst thing is like the stupid things I say on stage. It happens. I just say really stupid stuff. Like, and I don't know where it comes from or why, and then I get really embarrassed. I think more so than playing bad, like that's the stuff that I get hung up on. Oh, big time.
Hey friends, welcome to the Sour Notes podcast, the podcast where musicians get curious about their inner critic, self-doubt, and the darker side of the creative process that we don't often hear about. I'm your host, Roxanne Potvin. I'm a singer-songwriter and a lifetime sufferer of my own inner noise. And every other week, I invite artists to share their stories and insights on this somewhat inconvenient reality. Today, I'm very pleased to have a chat with Laura Merrimen, a staple of the songwriter scene in Nova Scotia, as well as an accomplished painter and Reiki practitioner. In this conversation, we talk about staying connected with your truth through the challenges of a creative life. Hi, Laura.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Welcome to the Sour Notes podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming in. We've been chatting for about an hour and a half about our whole lives, but now we're going to talk about music specifically.
Yeah, the uncensored stuff.
Yeah,
or the censored stuff.
The stuff that we can have on the podcast that we want to talk about on the podcast. So we're just going to jump right in. Tell us if there was a defining moment that made you want to be a musician.
Yeah. Well, both of my parents were musicians when I was younger, so I was kind of inundated with having music around, and I always felt it in my soul when I was a kid. But I do remember, I don't know how old I was, maybe like 3 or 4. I was brought into one of my parents' sound checks in the afternoon, and I remember like the drummer was doing this drum check and the sound of the drums, and that was the moment I think that got me. Wow. It was just like, what's this? Yeah.
Right in your gut.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. You saw them perform a little bit.
Oh yeah. When they did matinees or whatever.
And where did you start off, like gigging and stuff?
I just I taught myself how to play. Well, before that, I mean, I always knew that I always felt it. So then I started teaching myself how to play guitar and always sang, and then when I moved into Halifax, I started working at a bar called Ginger's Tavern, which isn't there anymore. Yeah. But they had an open mic night.
Oh, fun.
So I started at the Ginger's Tavern open mic.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really sweet. And that, like, there's so many people that came through, kind of cut their teeth at that open mic, like the Halifax scene back then. Yeah. Which is neat. Yeah.
So you started making connections.
Yeah. And then sort of just like, a good encounters with certain people that kind of inspired me to keep going. Yeah. Or I had one friend, he was, he gave me the confidence to do it. And he's a really great songwriter too. Cool. So like positive relationships like that. Yeah. Because otherwise I didn't know if I was good enough.
Yeah, for sure. To keep how going, old, right? And how old would you have been?
That would have, I don't know, like when I was 20. Yeah. Right. In there somewhere. Cool.
Do you have a sense when you started noticing an inner critic or like a negative voice or a critical voice?
Oh, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like right away.
Right.
Because I was really shy. And so I always knew that I had that feeling of wanting to play music and do music, but I knew I was also so shy. I didn't know how I was ever going to get up on stage. Right. So I remember having that conversation with myself a lot. Like, am I going to try to push myself to do that? Yeah. Because I don't have it's not a choice. Actually, in actuality, there was no choice.
You just go, okay, well, we'll deal with this.
Yeah, because it outweighed it, right? Like the positive feelings of like songwriting and experiencing and like putting words together and melody. It's just such a beautiful thing, right? Like. Yeah.
So the inner critic wasn't interfering too much with your wanting to
No,
do it?
no, other than the insecurities that I was
sure.
had or whatever that I
Do you-
needed to work through.
Do you
Yeah.
find that negative voice or whatever has gotten worse or better over time? Or
Definitely better, but it's still
Yeah.
just something that, it's like you have to work at.
Sure, it
Yeah.
just kind of stays around.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gotten more of a. It's definitely, I've learned how to kind of cut through the nonsense of the mind chatter or whatever, because once you have like a goal in mind or a project or like, you can start to see a clearer path. Yeah.
How would you say that you started to be able to sort of get a handle on it? Do you have any sort of specific ways or things you told yourself or ways that you navigated it?
That's a good question. I think it's just been a process of learning about myself and through, like positive mental health learning and growth, I think is the biggest one, really. Mm-hmm. Becoming a clear channel more so than having it fogged up with
fear and
and I would throw alcohol into the mix there, because I quit drinking a few years ago. So once, and I didn't realize like that was a huge one actually for my mental health and for the self-critic and all of it. It's all connected, right? So I didn't realize what a detriment it was to my inner voice and how you treat yourself. And, right? So
100%.
Once I got that out of the way, it was a lot easier.
And when it's like a habit, you're just kind of used to having it around and you're playing in bars and like alcohol is just part of your daily,
of it. And you're expected to.
Yeah.
And honestly, you get less gigs when you stop drinking.
Totally.
It's that camaraderie that you had with people because you're doing those things together is kind of gone.
Yeah.
But it's gotten a lot better and easier to have a... like, do you find when songs, do songs come to you? Or it's like when you're younger, it's a little more chaotic of a process. Mm-hmm. Like now I find it's just an easier to access, easier to map out.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have a better sense of who you are and how you work and your creative process.
And why you do the things you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. If you were to give your inner critic a name, what would you name it?
Whoa.
This is a Julia Cameron exercise.
Wow.
The artist.
I've never done that. My inner critic. I don't know. I think I don't necessarily like to give it a negative connotation in my mind,
Sure.
Because it's I do try to come from a good place of gratitude and just like more of a higher understanding of.
You don't want to separate yourself from another part of yourself, basically.
Yeah,
because ultimately the inner critic is part of the whole.
That's right.
Right? And there's kind of two different discourses. There's the discourse of like the negative voice, you just got to tame it, or you just got to like tell it to go away, or you just kind of But there's the other side where it's like, well, your inner critic is the part of you that is very scared and that is very fragile and that is very like
you're right.
It's like the young version of you that's terrified.
Absolutely.
So that part, if anything, needs more nurturing.
That's right. As you're talking, I find that with painting because I do paint. I paint, and I'll find that more of that's like a fast tracked inner critic situation. Visual when you're working with paint or visually, because things can change. You make a stroke and the whole thing's gone.
Yeah.
With music, if you're recording, you can do another take and do another, and you still have the foundation of what. But I do find that with painting, I'll get my inner critic does come up a little maybe more poignant, and I'm like, that's terrible. I get to this place where, oh my God. But then I have to take a minute and breathe. And I have to push myself because, and I've seen it through experience now, that if I give myself 5 minutes and push myself just a little bit more, the next brush stroke might make the whole thing come together. Right? Yeah. So actually that's a very valuable, like that's something, a tool that I've been trying to work with. Like, nope, just keep going, take your time, get mad if you need to, but just don't let it get you off track of like, it's like you never know what's around the corner. And you can apply that to anything in life, really.
Yeah, just try a little bit.
Just a little bit more. Yeah. Just a little bit more. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I am I'll curse and I'll be talking to myself, and I just let it fly. Yeah. Just to get through it, like sometimes that's the process too.
Right. It's part of the battle a little bit.
Yeah.
To get to where you're going.
Yeah.
Have you read the book, The War of Art?
No.
Stephen Pressfield. And he talks about that as resistance. Yeah. So that resistance is always there to meet you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And that takes the form of, negative self-talk or not wanting to do it or procrastination.
Absolutely.
Or, boredom or like, whatever, distraction.
It's such a fine balance, right? Because you don't want to push yourself if you're procrastinating. But there's kind of usually a reason why you're procrastinating. So you want to set yourself up, just like training a dog. You want to set yourself up for success.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? And positive
How do we do that?
That is the way to approach it in your mind, if you can be mindful of that going into it.
Yeah.
Do
you have like a little ritual to get into your kind of zone?
Try to, I'll try to wait until I feel and I'm in a good place mentally. Yeah. And because I if I'm having a bad day or not in a good space, I won't start anything artistic, I just don't usually. So I try to set myself up to have a nice time. Yeah. And get prepared and have, and, yeah. I don't know. It's a fine balance. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me, for a long time, I would just do it as a routine.
Right.
So,
So, like a practice.
Yeah. It would be sort of the first thing I would do when I wake up. Mm-hmm. I would open up my book and write lyrics, you know.
Yeah.
I did that for a long time, on and off, like sometimes more steadily, it would be like for periods of time, like a few months at a time or whatever, or if I was trying to write an album and I find that having structure like that was helpful sometimes.
Definitely.
Just because it takes away the decision making.
Yes, definitely.
It's just like, this is what I'm doing. You don't have to decide to do it. This is just what you're doing.
And then when it's an exercise, you build that muscle up.
Yeah.
I used to be like that too. In the morning, I would.
Yeah.
It's gone.
I find mornings are the easiest for me because my brain isn't full yet.
It's fresh. Yeah.
Thinking back on it, I wonder, though, if it does take a little bit of the magic out of it, whereas like you're writing, but you're not inspired really. Right. And so I'm sort of on the fence on that one. Like, because it, when you are inspired and when you do have an idea, it feels really good.
Oh, you know it when it feels, it's like when you fall in love with somebody and it's
you're going somewhere.
It's love.
Yeah.
And the feelings, right. That's what a song popping out is like, right?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Whereas like when you're sitting there every day, some of it feels a little forced.
Totally.
But there's just, there's all kinds of opinions on that.
And and again, I think it's just about balance too, because I think it is really good to have some stability and a practice, like to practice your art is super valuable. Mm-hmm. And to do it daily, I think is like, definitely.
Yeah, trying to connect to that part of yourself. Regularly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there is a fine balance because you do want to, strike into the wonder and
the gold mine.
The just, and you're fluid and lucid.
Yeah.
Right?
Connected to the
But if
source.
you don't practice every day, then you're not going to get there so easily.
What would you say the role of intuition is in performance for you? Do you are there moments where that intuition feels inaccessible? Do you like to sort of
Yeah, sometimes it helps me read a room, to know what kind of, song I want to play next.
Yeah, stuff like that.
To like make a good night, to sometimes, it's maybe a little bit of a detriment because I don't really want to be feeling what the person is feeling that's sitting at the table closest to me. Well, I'm trying to like focus on, and this really does happen. I think because you're more like you're in that vulnerable state. So saying you're playing
kind of wide open.
You're trying to be positive and play your best, and so you are wide open, and then you are becoming that a clearer channel.
Yeah.
And then it does it does happen.
Well,
you can feel people a little extra.
Sure. And we're sensitive to the energy in the room and things that are going on and things like that. So we do pick that up.
But sometimes that's a detriment because if somebody's there not digging what you're doing, and you can feel it, and then you're like playing in your song, and you're all up in your head and going off for this song. Oh my God, that's hard.
But I find that that there's also a role in intuition in sort of guiding you through a song or guiding you through a performance.
Definitely.
And I think it's probably like the case for all musicians, but it's almost like you hear this thing you're about to sing before you sing it, like right at the moment before you sing it. It's kind of like, and then that's sort of like what ends up coming out of your mouth kind of thing. So like that that connection is kind of just an ongoing, like if you're able to sustain it, because I find that it's also very fragile. It kind of comes in waves, right?
Yeah.
Because any distraction can just disconnect you from that.
It's so true. Then you're in trouble. If you're not hearing what you're going to do next, before you do it, you're kind of in trouble. Yes. Do you ever have like holy shit moments where you just totally lose it and then you're like blank?
All the time. Literally. Like, I'm super sensitive to distractions. And for me, like, it was... I noticed it very early on that, because I started playing music very intuitively when I was starting. It was very intuitive. And then once I started gigging, I remember the moment, actually, it was a gig. It was a small gig in Ottawa, one of my first with that band at the time. Like I must have been like 18 or 19. And I was in my thing, doing my thing, playing my guitar, and then all of a sudden something distracted me, and I noticed that I lost it.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, what was that?
Yeah.
Like, and then I couldn't get back. And I was like, oh, what's happening, Yeah. And because when I was practicing at home, I wasn't aware of that happening because I could stay in my thing, from start to end, like, right?
Yeah.
So in performance, that is very challenging. And like the importance of being able to sustain that connection is pretty high.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, in order to like stay connected emotionally.
Definitely.
Carry the song to the end, But I mean, at the same time, I think a lot of us just, when you're sort of you've played a song 75 times, like your mind wanders and you're thinking about whatever.
Big time.
That's okay too.
Isn't that funny how we can do that? I was thinking about that the other night while I was playing, and I was playing the song, and I was thinking about the next song I was going to play, and then I was thinking about my dog at home, and then I got to be in the moment.
Yes. And bringing the focus, trying to bring the focus back.
Yeah, exactly.
Is
that might be part of the
But then
ADHD
that's
brain.
Also, right? Yeah. For sure. But see, I forgot what I was going to say.
I know. That's funny. It's really frustrating though, because it's like you must feel this too. It's like you're intelligent,
Right?
and you have something intelligent to say, but the
Yes.
words don't come. It's
Yeah.
like, what is up?
Brain interruption. Yeah, totally, all the time.
Come
Oh, I
on.
remember.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I remember. So what I was gonna say is also in those moments is where that inner critic can definitely interrupt the intuition.
Yes, and
100%.
yeah, and I think it does that to hijack you, like literally just
Sabotage.
because you're not in your heart.
Yeah, you're not connected.
system.
You're just in your
Yeah.
fearful brain. You're like in your amygdala.
Yeah, the monkey brain they say or whatever, right?
Yeah,
like the not as evolved part of your system.
Yeah, the fear. Yeah, the very fear-based
fight or
flight
or freeze.
Totally. Like that is pervasive in performance.
Absolutely,
you can fall in that trap. Like, so much.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like
yeah,
and maybe that is the part. It's like, how do you get through all that stuff just to be every performance to just access it and be a clear channel? And
I know. I don't know if that's possible. Maybe that is too high of an expectation. Like, because we're human, but it is I think it's a fair pursuit to try to be
a noble pursuit.
A noble pursuit to try to aim for that
too.
As much as possible. Because speaking of truth, in those moments, that's where it feels the most true.
Big time.
And it feels the most true probably for the audience as well.
I think so too.
Where the connection is actually
happening. I think they can't help but feel the connection because it's real, right? Yeah.
What I ended up understanding, because I've been through most of my time playing music now, I realized that I've been in it, sort of kind of stuck in fight or flight mode.
Right.
Where the intuitiveness and the connectiveness was never there, like on stage. I would just go immediately into sort of danger zone.
Okay.
And my brain would just take over. So there was nothing enjoyable about playing music on stage. And I just kind of did it because that's what I was supposed to be doing.
I feel you, and it makes me want to cry. Like that feeling, because I understand it.
Right.
Like, yeah.
No, it's not a good feeling at all because you're feeling like you're not fulfilling the thing that you're supposed to be doing. Like you're not able to do your job,
You are, but that's the thing that also we all get up in our heads about. But the thing is, you are doing your job, and most people will be like, that was great.
Yeah.
But it left you feeling like you didn't want to do it anymore. Right. And I've been in that space too, where you got to call it for not do it for a while.
Yeah.
Because there's
That's
no
where it
joy
came
there.
For me. Yeah, for sure. It was just like, I can't do this to myself.
No.
I can't keep doing this. I can't, because that felt like pretending to me.
Right.
I felt like I was pretending for so many years. And I was trying, and I was writing the albums, and I was getting joy out of writing the albums, and getting joy in some moments of it.
Definitely.
But like the performance was so difficult.
Yeah.
So
it's good to reevaluate and take time away and see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, I think
and find joy again.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think quitting has a pretty bad rap, like when it comes to this kind of stuff. It's like, well, you should never quit.
Well, you'll always have it, though.
Yeah.
You're always going to feel music, and it's always going to be part of your being, right?
Yeah.
So it's not really quitting.
Yeah.
You're just taking a sabbatical.
Yeah.
For your health.
Right. Yeah, you sort of get off
the...
get out of the rat race for a while.
Yeah, definitely. And also the whole system is not set up for us to succeed, really, and it really it wore me down.
Yeah, what was your, because you said you could relate to what I was saying. What was?
Like I just stopped playing shows for a long time.
Yeah.
Like I've had periods of that throughout, where I just shut it down.
Yeah, okay.
For different reasons, but...
Yeah.
Which, it's not a great place to be. But I also try to insert other artistic endeavors in there to balance things out.
Yeah. But the joy of playing was just not. It wasn't
Didn't have
happening.
it. Nothing.
What emotions come up for you before a performance?
Oh,
Is
boy.
it usually positive or negative?
Oh, boy. That's been a long road.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
A long road of like, well, I mean, I'm in a good place now.
Yeah.
Like with it, I used to, and there's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
I could be playing like a big show with a lot of people and I wouldn't get nervous at all. And then I'd play a little show, tiny, didn't mean anything, and I'd be super nervous.
Right.
In a smaller audience, or, maybe just feeling a little more exposed.
Yeah.
Raw, kind of, close
in a
smaller setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of had to get to a place where, well, first of all, that I was confident in what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it usually, if those anxiety feelings came up, it was because it's like, I'm sick of playing my songs. Nobody's coming to my shows.
Yeah.
What are all those things that are going on? It's pretty vulnerable being a musician and getting out there, and like you get up on stage and you just have to let her rip, and and so those insecurities would come from like, I know my tone's not good, or my guitar is acting up, it's got a buzz, any various of the things that could,
So you anticipated those before.
And probably internalized it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And part of, I've never been diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I have ADHD.
Right.
The disassociative kind.
Yeah.
That like I zone out and do have like procrastination.
Sure.
And then I'll only get around to like practicing like when it's to the last minute, like stuff like that. So I've had to work around that and learn how to manage that a bit better. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, do you find that preparation is a good way to mitigate your inner critic? But sometimes the inner critic also interferes with the preparation.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, though, now I know that now I'm a bit older and can see things more clearly. Mm-hmm. Definitely practicing preparation is like super key. To feeling comfortable and confident. And because it really just takes that stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it helps you to prepare for also the worst case scenario. Like you can literally build that stuff into your practice. Like, get distracted during your practice, or like practice with somebody in the other room, or like you can build some discomfort into your practice so that it doesn't throw you off as much once you get on stage.
Once you're at the gig, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I will say though, on top of, to add to that though, that I think what you tell yourself in your words hold a lot of power and energy.
For sure.
So the more that you can speak to yourself positively and not let negative self-talk come into this situation, then you will have a way better experience later if you don't,
How do you do that though? Because I find that once the negative sort of critical, harsh, defeating stuff, it like to me it always felt like a loop, it's very hard to break out of, and I've learned since then that it has a lot to do with the nervous system and how you're sort of like wired, and so addressing the physical body instead of trying to address the thoughts alone.
Absolutely.
Has been a helpful thing for me, like the regulating of the nervous system.
The regulating of the nervous system and your tools, how to get there. Yeah. I think is a big part for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe I'll try to put a couple of notes in the show notes, or links to some exercises that people can check out.
I like deep breathing, like I find a huge one. Yeah. And just like how athletes like will run through a show or their sporting event.
Yeah, sure.
And they go through it and they see themselves making the catch or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you see yourself playing the riff and going good.
Yeah, visualization.
Visualization is a big one.
Do you use that a lot? Yeah.
Yeah, I try to. I just, as a daily, just a life practice, I really don't let my mind go to negative things anymore. And I tell it to shut up if I start to realize it's happening. And, you know, sometimes you have a thing you need to process and think about and really feel, but you can let it go.
Yeah.
you don't need to hang on to it.
Totally.
Right? You feel it, process it, let it fly, and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just as simple as saying, nope, we're not going there.
Exactly. And that, and it's like it really is a muscle that you exercise, and the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah.
And then to clear your mind, that's another one, like meditation, just being able to clear your mind and not have anything in there.
Not be attached to whatever thoughts come up. Because the thoughts are going to come up.
Oh, big time.
They just do.
Yeah. It's going to happen.
But meditation helps to separate a little bit and be oh, okay, this is just my brain doing the thing.
Yeah. And just to be aware of it, acknowledge it.
Yeah.
That's not you necessarily. That's just a thought you had. Yeah. You don't have to own it in your heart, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You said about ADHD. I'm just sort of starting to believe that a lot of creative people are just naturally. It's like a combined.
I do too, and I think there's a reason. I mean, our brains we don't
work a little different.
I like to go in circles and loops and figure eights, and I'll get everything I need to get done. But I need to do it on my own
pace.
And my own vibe, and right,
totally,
and that's okay.
And also, there's a link. I listen to a lot of podcasts about ADHD and things like that, and there's a link between ADHD and the regulating of the nervous system as well. 100%. So it kind of all comes back to I think the conversation around that it's not quite clear, I think, to most people that your thoughts and your nervous system are intrinsically linked.
Everything is connected.
And because we try to address thoughts with other thoughts, but sometimes maybe it's more usable to go into the body first.
You just need to go drink a tea.
Yeah.
And go and literally, I now that the weather is nicer, I like to ground. I just take my socks off and put my feet in the dirt.
Yeah.
Huge.
Sure.
Just the grounding. But it's
another way to get into the body, right?
For your nervous system.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, definitely. And people, these are practices that are like thousands of years old. Exactly. They're actually tried and tested, and they do really work, and they're the simplest tools that we have,
Yeah. And what they call box breathing now, like it's a yogic type of breathing.
Totally.
Where you take a breath in, hold your breath, let the breath out longer than you took it in. Those things have been around. Like, that's regulating the nervous system.
It is so simple.
And it's super simple.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a whole other...
Yeah.
There's so many tools available for us. I've also been doing... lymphatic system.
Okay.
So draining your lymphatic system every day, I find really helps. I do it in the shower.
Those are like massages?
Yeah,
massage points
it's like you start with your collarbone.
Okay,
this, and then your neck, down your neck, and all of this stuff is on the internet too.
If
anybody wants to check it out.
I've been using tapping.
Yeah. Similar
it's been a really great thing for regulating and for sort of getting out of an anxiety loop.
Totally.
Yeah. And like at first when you hear about it, it's like, oh yeah, okay, sure. Like I'm going to tap above my eyebrow and suddenly I'm going to feel better. But guess what?
It's true. What do you like? Acupuncture is, that is the same thing basically, or, connected.
Yeah,
like you're using pressure points on your body, and you have different, synapses reactions.
Yeah, it's moving energy in your body and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm also I do Reiki.
Yes.
So that's always been like, and that was actually looping back. That was a changing point in my life.
Oh yeah.
How to regulate my nervous system and to get rid of the negative self-talk and all this stuff. It really made me find the light instead of dwelling in the darkness all the time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that was huge.
And do you do Reiki on yourself? Like, I don't know much about Reiki.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do. I do. And it's funny, like, I am like certified practitioner.
Yeah.
You kind of open up your channel and ground yourself and
balancing energies
and frequencies, and which really does play into music because it's all energy and frequency.
Yeah, totally.
So with me anyway, it's very much connected.
You said something before that I kind of want to dig into a little bit, because you compared live performance and how athletes will visualize whatever the trail they're about to do or the whatever sporting event that they're about to be part of. It's interesting because when I was going through my stuff and trying to figure out what the hell was going on with me, I started kind of looking into sports performance, and because there's quite a bit of literature actually about athletes who choke and what happens to them when it happens, and why aren't they able to get back to the level that they were at before. And I just wish there was infrastructure around that for musicians.
Oh, it's so true.
Musicians are kind of left to fend for themselves. And because there's a mystical perception of a musician, right? But the performance part is there's also something very concrete about how to how to be in performance mode, and how to optimize for performance, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
How can we train like athletes in a way? We almost would need, and I've looked and there's not a lot about that for musicians on the internet.
I can't imagine that there would be. Yeah.
And the psychology of performance, athletes are trained on a daily basis. They're trained, they literally do mind training, and I think it would be really helpful for musicians.
Absolutely, 100%. And maybe we kind of happens by default that musicians end up doing the mind training, but they kind of get there on their own.
You got to figure it out,
Right.
I think, but this is kind of why I want to talk about this stuff. Just kind of get an awareness out there of
100%.
What we need and what would be nice, what's going on, really. Can you think of a show that was especially difficult, internally? Do you remember?
Oh, so many.
Yeah. What was going on?
All of them. A lot. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. I don't even know how to. I've played so many bad shows. I had so many bad shows
where you just feel crappy, and what's going on when that happens? When you have a bad show, what does it look like?
Well, I mean, it could be a mixed bag of not a good turnout, or I don't know. Just there's so many bad scenarios that you can find yourself in, again, with just the different circumstances of shows.
Sure, but how do you react, let's say, to not so great circumstances? Do you tend to go, oh, this sucks, or I suck, or I'm not good enough, that's why people aren't here, or are you
it's hard not to internalize that stuff, even if you don't say it outwardly, or you shouldn't let yourself think it. When you go home at the end of the night, and it's hard not to. I don't know though. About there could be so many things, and it's usually vibe wise, and people talking right up front all night long, and the lights are too bright, and they left the TVs on, and the sound's bad, and there's a weird buzz in the PA system, and like all of those things together, and you couldn't find parking, and you're late getting there, and it's just usually that stuff,
chaos, a little
like
bit of
chaos that happens, that is like and it's like really hard to get there and like zone in and be your your highest self to bring forth the magic.
Oh my God. No, it's because really that's what you want to do.
Yeah, of course.
But you get, if you get beat down by this or that and the other thing, it's
by
hard
the
to
time
maintain
even, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Every show is different,
Yeah.
Sometimes, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's because, sometimes you think you played bad and everybody be like, that was great. Yes. At the end of that, and you're like, what? Yeah. That was terrible.
Right? That is that is a weird one.
That's a weird one.
Yeah.
Or nights when you think you're doing great and you don't get a response from anybody. Like that's almost worse.
Yeah, no. You're like, but it's funny. Maybe in that sense, like you need to just people come there with a certain need that night, and if you happen to fulfill it for them, you did a good job.
You're so right.
According to them, you know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
So really, like there's part of it that's completely out of your control.
Absolutely.
Because people show up as themselves and what they need. Mm-hmm. And maybe just in that moment, you're not the person to give that to them, or you are.
You're right. Or they have expectations that are wildly outside of what was good,
or what you're there to offer or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I think we tend to take a lot of things personally where maybe there's a different way to think about it.
Definitely.
And that could be helpful for our own mental health.
I think you're so right about that. Yeah. Like the off switch. Gig's done, you did it. Mission accomplished. Yes. Job done. Let it fly.
Yeah. It's just another day.
Like that's
in paradise.
You went to work, you came home. In a way, Yeah. It's hard to do though.
It is.
I always get my worst thing is like the stupid things I say on stage. It happens. I just say really stupid stuff, like, and I don't know where it comes from or why, and then I get really embarrassed when I go home, or like, I didn't like convey myself the way I wanted to. Right. Mm-hmm. I think more so than playing bad, like that's the stuff I get hung up on. Oh, big time.
Most vulnerable is when you talk. Is it because you're trying to fill air? Like, because you're feeling awkward, or like?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's gotten better. Yeah. But I mean, it used to be more of a thing, and it comes from a place of being shy.
Yeah, sure.
Or insecure, and then if you feel like you need to fill some space, or sometimes you just get chatty and then you say some stuff you shouldn't have.
Because you want people to like you, and or so not, you try too hard, or maybe whatever.
No, not even that, because I don't care if people like me.
Oh, that's good. That's a good place to start.
Well, it's weird, right? Because I don't want to piss people off or make them feel uncomfortable. And I think maybe that's more so it. Like I'm a bit of a people pleaser.
Yeah.
But also I don't care.
Yeah.
It's a really funny.
Yeah.
Funny, yeah.
Two things.
What a weird profession to pick too, and you're like this shy little introvert that like, but then you have to go and expose yourself on stage through your most vulnerable,
You're literally opening up your heart.
Wild.
And, your soul and your mind. Yeah. And why do we choose to do that? What keeps you going, Laura Merrimen?
I don't know. No, I do know. It's a pursuit of art and betterment for myself.
Yeah.
That is the one thing that's propelled me. And I just think art in general is under the big umbrella, whether it's music or painting or any type of, expression that people do, I think is so important for our well-being as humanity.
Yep.
And I just think it's really important to keep it going and to keep it like, again, coming back to your truth for yourself, you know, and what that is, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
What you feel like you're here for.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you know, what's going to make you feel validated within yourself or like feel good about yourself?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I like to make cool things too.
Yeah.
I just like to make cool things. What a gift. I've also recognized that, like, what a gift I've been given. Like, to be able to express myself and get through things I needed to get through personally, you know, like to be able to do that through music or art, you know, like that's a really beautiful gift. Thank you, God. You know?
Yeah.
And I just want people to be able to find that in their lives too, even if it's not art, but it's something that they're interested in that propels them to feel a peace of mind and and be able to process and get out of the darkness and you know, if they're feeling that way. Yeah.
You said, you know, being a musician is a very vulnerable thing, and getting in front of an audience. And so, how have you navigated that? Like, because you said you were a shy person as a younger person. You also said that it was sort of the need to do it was greater than the.
I didn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just kind of learned to make friends with that vulnerability or with that feeling exposed, or like, is there
think you
sort of
have to though, right? Like to get to that point.
Because there's a requirement of vulnerability. Like, you can't be a musician, and I mean, or it's not going to work as well.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's such a double-edged knife. I think it comes down to authenticity.
Yeah.
Like, you just need to be yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're pretending to be something you're not, you know, you might entertain the people.
Yeah.
But it's not going to last for very long, you know, or it won't sustain in the way, it won't make you happy either on the inside.
Yeah.
It won't fulfill you.
Yeah.
I think the only way to find the fulfillment is to be completely authentic with yourself and on stage. If you can get there, maybe that's a lifelong practice.
Right.
You know,
Good
like
point.
maybe that is the practice.
Right.
Of finding yourself and then trying to convey that in through your art, you know?
And then people can also find themselves in the process because they can see you doing that.
Exactly.
And it's
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that right now because it's, I think it's all about truth. I think living on earth is all about being authentic and truthful to yourself. And when you're not, it creates cracks in the foundation.
Yeah.
It creates cracks in your foundations of your relationships.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
And you're living a lie.
And in your music as well, because music is only a reflection of your life, right?
Exactly.
But that in itself is a process, like learning to be fully honest with yourself is a huge
Nobody
process.
wants to do that.
Yeah. You just want to, you know what I mean? Like,
especially,
especially if you have a dream, you're just going for that dream. But in the meantime, if you get too caught up in the exterior version of making music, which is the career, how you come off, how much people like you.
Ego-based stuff.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
That part of authenticity and honesty with yourself might pass you right by.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? So it's not really that hard to like sort of miss that part if you're just kind of caught up in the other stuff.
Absolutely.
Which unfortunately is a lot of stuff.
Most of it these days, it seems to be geared towards that.
Yeah, it's sort of appearance based, and you know,
it's a shame, you know, because a lot of really great artists who have really interesting things to say aren't getting heard. You know, which I don't know.
But I do think that if you do have that honesty and that vulnerability, ultimately you find your place.
I don't even know.
No,
I mean, I don't know. I know that's the way I want to conduct my business because it enables me to sleep good at night.
Sure.
Because I would know that I just don't want to live a lie.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if it's going to get me anywhere further.
Yeah,
Probably not,
but
because I don't want to play the game.
Well, that's the thing.
As much as other people do, right? Or willing to.
But again, you have that integrity that you at least know that you've done it within the parameters that you were comfortable with.
I think that's the main thing at the end of the day for each individual. What's right for me isn't necessarily right for somebody else, right? Like
But that's where I find the internet can be a tool, though, for people who don't want to follow the guidelines.
Definitely.
If you can learn how to use the internet to your advantage, you can reach people. So in that sense, as much as I kind of have feelings about, using social media because I find it difficult, and I'm also very interested in finding out how it works.
Absolutely.
And what works, and, kind of, again, I think it comes down to being in your integrity and doing what feels okay for you.
I think so too.
And then in that way, the internet allows you to build whatever the hell you want.
That's right. It's a beautiful thing, really. Like it's all there for
everybody's eyeballs are on the internet, at all times. So
but it is a good point. It's like, what is good for you as the individual?
Totally.
It's not going to be the same that's good for somebody else. Or what works, right? So
yeah, for sure. I like to have a question around, I call it the Dear Younger Me segment.
Okay.
So if you could talk to a younger version of yourself, what would you tell them about self-doubt, the inner critic, and what you've learned?
So don't listen to anything. Just, I'd give them a hug and say everything is going to be totally fine as long as you're true to yourself, Yeah.
Awesome.
And don't even let that stuff enter your psyche.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can help it.
Yeah.
Train your inner dog and your inner puppy dog.
Yes.
Like I was saying, like set yourself up for success,
Yeah.
Like,
be nice to yourself.
Be gentle
as possible.
Yes. And that's a big one. We haven't even said that yet. Like just to be kind to yourself and maybe treat yourself the way that you would treat a little child.
Yep.
That, like.
No, totally.
Really,
and I find that it's helpful to think of ourselves as the little child that we once were, because you can't hate on that one.
No.
You can hate on yourself. Like, it's easy to hate on your adult self or whatever.
Oh, sure.
But when you think about yourself because you remember yourself at 5
but
or
those
whatever.
Pure impulses too that you had when you were 5, like those are the real things, you know? Like,
yeah. And they're probably still here.
Yeah, they're in there. You've just squashed them down with life.
Those impulses are I think, the ones that guide you to your truth and to your happier self.
And your soul purpose. Yeah. I think maybe kids are...
They're plugged in there, man.
Kids are already plugged in before they have all the rest of life that gets into them as they grow up. Like,
totally.
They know.
Yep.
They know exactly what their truth is.
Yeah, it's very instinctive, and they're drawn to things naturally. And I always think that that's the way to go.
I think so too.
Yeah. So kindness is a challenging one, but I think it's helpful to think about the younger version.
Too. Yeah.
What do you do to maintain a sense of joy and playfulness in music?
I think always learning, I guess, is where I find new inspiration and joy. Pushing yourself to do something a little differently, or learn or play better, or learn a new, sometimes it's simple as like learning somebody else's song. Like this is a practice I try to do. Yeah. Like if I'm in a rut, I'll learn some cover songs.
Sure.
because it's just like it's a totally different approach, and like different chord progression that you would use,
Sure.
or and that can facilitate more of your own songwriting, or some
Totally
another spark.
Turn the switch on a little bit.
Yeah,
and I find too that when you play a song that you already love, you have joy built into that.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
I've been learning "Crazy" by Aerosmith lately, and it's holy. It is such an undertaking, like to sing, because Steven Tyler is an incredible singer, right?
Yeah.
Like I was like, I got through it, like,
wow, that's amazing.
and I was just like, oh, okay, that was a lot. Like, I'm really out of practice.
Oh man, I want to hear that though.
I'm gonna try to get her to a place where I'm, comfy with it. But it's
you want to play it live?
I do.
Oh, nice. Oh, I'm so here for that.
It's such an undertaking, though. But like, it's that's brought me some joy.
Good. Yeah, I could totally get joy out of that.
Yeah,
I could get joy out of hearing that too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna end it here.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming over there.
So nice.
All right, I'll see you later.
Okay.
That's it for today's episode of Sour Notes. Huge thanks to Laura Merrimen for sharing with us. You'll find all links to our guests in the show notes. If this episode resonated with you, you can follow us on Instagram at SourNotesPod. And don't forget to leave a review. It helps more musicians find the show. See you next time. Sour Notes is a Flipped Canoe production, editing by me, Roxanne Putway.